Alright, welcome to episode 4, sorry, 4 of, what did I call this? What if Civilization started over, I think? I just named it after 80s Pros. Anyway, in the last episode, which, I pre-recorded all of these to when I'm recording them, but this bluish country over here, they were puppeted by the Georgians-ish Abkhazians, and now they're a puppet state, they're probably getting annexed. The green Turkish country collapsed, the blue Algerian or Tunisian country took all of this stuff, and had some other things happen. So we're going to be following along from where we were last time. I have, of course, updated the beautiful looking religion map. It's mostly the red team's religion, but the Tunisians have their own one. You guys have made your own religion, and these guys have their own stuff, of course. Apart from that, major cities, there's more of them, I guess. Anyway, let's go up to things that are going to happen today. So, the Georgians, I guess, that's what they kind of are. They are going to be finally annexing their sort of puppet state. These guys. So that's fun. You know, they're gone now, I guess. It doesn't really change much. They're basically gone. So, wipe their cap. Oh yeah, I remember now. We can take away their capital city, and that's just a major city. I mean, their borders are disgusting, but, you know, oh well. However, the red team doesn't entirely support this. You know, these people are the people of the brown team, you know. They're the same ethnic group, same religion. Well, it's the red team's religion as well. That's another reason. I know they're very far away, but let me go there, couldn't you? But the red team kind of feels for these guys. And there's going to be a bit of a split between the brown team and the red team. And it's going to be a kind of religious split. So let's look at religion, shall we? If we go on this one, and then turn this off. I don't understand how this works. I don't remember how to do it now. To overlay. Oh, it doesn't really matter. We'll just draw a general idea. I've forgotten how to do that. So the brown team, how their religion split off. Basically, this entire sort of area north of Del Bruges over here. Yep, all the stuff north of that bit will become its own religion under the brown team's jurisdiction. I think that's right. So that includes the other two nations up here. These aren't the orange and the pink one. They are under the brown team's influence. They're kind of relying on them, to be honest. And they're also going to split away from them. There's that, I guess. Their religion, it's a bit like this one. However, they don't really worship the sun. They're bringing in polytheistic ideas. So that's cool, I guess. Moving on to newer countries in the world. This reddish one, right near the Bosphorus. Trade, it's a thing that happens, but there's not a whole lot of it, and that's kind of the problem. In the future, they might be able to get significantly richer. However, now they're just going to invade the Bulgarians, I suppose, to try and get richer. So they're going to take the capital city of the Bulgarians, and then they can move up, separating them from the Romanian territories. And from here, they take the rest of Bulgaria, and then Del Bruges. And in a peace treaty, this guy is fully annexed. Okay, oopsie. His capital city apparently isn't a major city, so that's cool, I guess. Alright, so major city secured, and there we go. The Bosphorus guys have now annexed the Bulgarian country. From here, they're going to be expanding more. I mean, trade through the Bosphorus does exist, and of course it has to happen because the brown team's going to spread their goods around to other parts of the world. They expand like this. It's not a crazy amount of expansion, but it's a bit. The brown team feels slightly threatened. Not really, but because the brown team's pretty strong. However, they will expand to this point over here. And let's go and look at this bluish country around there. So nobody knows the blue country exists. It's a lot of people from the old blue country that was around in this area, and also troops sent by the brown team. And you know, they're going to be the first people to arrive at the Baltic Sea as they expand around to this area. Oh, I remember the thing I left off. It was provinces. Oopsie. That wasn't clever. Can I go grab that? Maybe. No, it's annoying. Anyway, Oh, so the blue country will make it over there. I don't think it's going to be too relevant. Anyway, I can sort it out after this video. So the blue country has made it round to Kaliningrad sort of area, and they've got to the Baltic Sea. That's pretty good for them, I guess. But they're not trading with anyone. They're just larger. Another bluish country. Uh-oh. Oh no. Yeah, I remember now. Delete there. The Algerians. I don't know why I keep calling them Algerians, but because they're not. They're Tunisian, but it doesn't really matter. They will be taking over Sardinia and also expanding a long way up Italy to sort of, I don't know what it's like, San Marino area, kind of around there. I only know a few Italian states, or counties, or provinces, whatever they call them there. They're also going to expand across the Algerian coast, so now they are the Algerian country. Oh no. And that's cool. Speaking of African expansion, the red team will be moving up from their Eritrean sort of colony all the way around to their Egyptian one, and they've linked up all of this territory. So the red team controls the entire Red Sea. Yeah, obviously the red team is the strongest. Second strongest, I would put as the brown team. Then it's the Persians, the purplish country down here. After that, it's a bit less clear. The blue team looks very big, but they're not that strong. I mean, this Algerian blue team, by the way. These guys, these sort of Turkmenistani guys, might make it. Maybe the Indians. The Indians are quite developed. Their military is rubbish. They don't have a good military, but you know, they're doing other stuff like maths. They come out with numbers like they did in real life. They're also expanding it across the Gangetic Plain. I don't know if I pronounced that right, and also this isn't where that is, but oh well. They're expanding across central India a bit. You know, they've expanded down the coast. It's about the same. Gets more mountainous on each side of this bit. You know, might as well just go up north a little bit. Their religion is separate to everyone else's, which is cool. Their religion is generally a bit nicer than these guys. It's kind of an offshoot of theirs. I'm pretty sure I said it was polytheistic, but they're making lots of gods. Anyway, the blue country is going to do something quite monumentous, which is finish off expanding the entire way around the Caspian Sea, and they reach up to the border of the brown team. Oh god. Over here. So yeah, it's a pretty big blue team. They're not very strong. Their land's pretty rubbish, but they might eventually get stronger. The brown team is going to send out an order to the pink and the orange countries, telling them, expand to our border so we can control you better. Effectively. That's not quite what they say, but it kind of is. So yep, the purple team now looks like a Pac-Man's ghost sort of thing, and the orange team's probably going to look a lot like that. They go around to the river instead. I mean, these two guys are very big. Are they strong? No, not really. I'd stay in Europe, however, as the Greeks are going to be following up the Adriatic coast, just like, well, the other guys aren't in the Adriatic, and they just fall short of taking Istria, so Greece is now Yugoslavia, which is interesting. They do have not very friendly competition with this Bosphorus sort of country, Thrace maybe, because they both want control of the Balkans, just Europe in general. You know, there's not, or at least they don't think there's any European countries, and they don't know about the existence of Poland, so they're like, we're the cool European guys, right? Anyway, let's maybe look at a little bit of a conflict, because Anatolia is just a big mess. If we look at the countries we've got here, oh god, we can see that we have two major cities and the capital city in all these guys except for the green one, and that's because the green country is stronger. You know, they're the original one. They're actually relatively developed, but it's going to be these two guys over here, the purplish and the bluish countries, who are getting into an argument. What does it start over? Probably trade, or just claims on these mountainous areas and lakes and things. And either way, the purple team will start an invasion into the blue country. Neither of these guys are very strong. They have existed for a while, maybe like a century or so. I'm not quite sure. You make it up. Have some fun. Yeah. Creative liberties. They're going to take quite a lot of this land going around the northern area. They're afraid the green team's going to get involved, and also possibly the Thracians. I don't know. What is this area called? Pontus. Not really. they're afraid they're going to get involved and like backstab them, kind of. However, the blue team, they're about the same strength as the purple team, and they're trading a lot with their board on the red team. So they're going to push them away in the south, and they're actually going to start their own invasion into the purple country. I just can't get a color up for them. So they start pushing along the south. These areas are the more developed areas. It's closer to the capital city. However, something they didn't really account for was the green team joining the war. Now, what does the green team want? Because, I mean, they're very far away from the capital. It's not like they're going to take that anytime soon. All they really want is this major city up here, and they're also going to give help to the purple team because they think they could be a better ally. I don't know why, they just do. This is going to cause the purple team to be able to push back across their border, and they will surround the capital of the blue team, who doesn't want to surrender but will be forced to by all these invaders. Damn it. Okay, so in a peace treaty, the green team will take just this little northern part up here. It's not very much, but it's a bit. And the purple team is going to push the border even closer to their capital as they move it right round to here. Yeah, I'll fix this when I get the provinces, but I forgot about provinces somehow. So that was clever. Anyway, yes, my genius knows no bounds. The Persians, they're a bit threatened. I mean, not totally threatened, but the Indians are growing economically at a massive rate, and these guys just have so much open land that's unexplored. As far as they know, this just goes on infinitely. This probably is part of their religion. I don't know. They've got no idea what the rest of the world looks like. They've got a very, very small idea of what the world looks like. Anyway, they're going to take this sort of boxy area around here, which is completely useless, probably. Probably just a load of mountain, so that's nice. And the blue country will consume another lake. Sea. Aral? Is this the Aral Sea? I think it might be. Who knows? It's got a lot smaller. It was bigger at this point in time. That's, I don't know, drying of the deserts. It's just been shrinking like five times smaller than it used to be. Anyway, yeah. So these two guys, are they going to go to war? No, they're not allowed to. You know who is going to go to? No. The bluish country is going to take over Corsica, and also they will take up lots of this Italian area as they kind of discover the Alps a bit. Now this is not a nice looking Italy. It's a disgusting looking Italy. I hate it. However, over here in Slovenia, Venice sort of area, they will link up to the Greeks, who now own a lot of land. God's sake. And this is, once again, going to threaten the Thracians. They can't really attack anyone. I mean, they could. You could have attacked the purple guys whilst they're in a war. But the thing is, the red team doesn't really want to confront the green team, because they're kind of similar. I mean, the red team's growing a lot faster than the green team is, both territorially and economically. However, at the moment, they're not really ready to fight them. The brown team, they're rapidly losing land to the red team. Not in a war, but land that they could have got. So they're going to expand a bit up there, and also over here in the east, just so the borders could be even more disgusting. However, the orange team does claim a lot of this river area. They want that for their own border, and they're going to take it. So they're going to push the brown team out from this bit, linking up to this river, and then also to this one, and from here. There you go, there's their new border. So that's not good for the brown team, because the brown team's afraid they're going to run out of land. The brown team still doesn't know about the Baltic Sea, so technically they could think this is infinite. However, it's a lot colder than what it's like in Georgia, so they don't really want to go up there. Speaking of up here, though, somebody's just been found. And that somebody is you, my blue friend. The red team sent explorers up to here. They're very expansionist, this reddish country. This one is expansionist, but they didn't find this guy. And they sent explorers up round into Poland, Slovakia sort of area. And they found settlers of the blue team. Now, it's been probably like a century and a half. Just microphone one. Century and a half since these guys got created, sorry. So, they don't want to integrate with these guys. They haven't met any other people. The red team also kind of forgot they could possibly even be there. You know, it's a lot's happened since then, and they're a significantly different nation. Their culture, their religion, of course, has changed from theirs, even from their new religion. It's different from that. It wasn't like they were just the first ones to adapt or anything. No, it's a completely new religion. So the red team will move up towards the border and engage in neutral sort of relations. They're not exactly happy to see the red team, the blue team that is. However, you know, they'll trade with them. They need to reassert themselves in global affairs because they know that people will eventually, like the brown team, will arrive at their border, and that's not what they want. So, yeah, Greece, how are you feeling? Very scared? Blue team, how are you feeling? Like you want to get all the way through Morocco. So the blue team will get past this Tangier sort of area and round here towards Rabat. Go back to them in a second, don't worry. However, the red team is also doing some stuff as they're going to move down the Somalian coast. They've got a very large colony over here in the Horn of Africa and also like the Red Sea as a whole. They're going to find out about Socotra. They've got a lot of land. It's a very big sort of Mesopotamian empire. However, somebody's empire is collapsing and it's the blue team. They are suffering rebellions all across their country and I don't know which colour to make Italy. What colour do you want to be Italy? Well, we might make multiple Italies, so yeah, let's see some of the rebellions. First off, there's a sort of Greek-funded one. I'm not making it green because it's Greek-funded, but lots of Greeks have moved to this area in northern Italy. So it's not in support of Greece. And the Greeks, well, they probably do want to annex it, but it's not entirely about that. Anyway, this is rebellion number 1. It's mostly agricultural stuff. Rebellion number 2 happens a lot closer to home down here in the south, also probably with Greek funding. And rebellion number 3 is going to happen on Sardinia and Corsica. There's literally no one living here. Well, no, there are. I just haven't drawn the cities in or up here because they only just got here in this episode. So, how's this going to go for the blue team? If you said badly, you'd be right. Greek troops will start to appear up here in this country. Of course, you know, lots of the inhabitants are Greek, so they kind of don't entirely notice. They're like, oh, it's some really strong militia, I guess. But they take lots of this land and they separated this northern part, and eventually that will get taken. The blue team, however, has a much more advantageous time pushing up against the orange team. You know, they're going to push them back all the way across the border except from the coast. Over here, they're struggling around that area, and they're also struggling to push back against the Sardinians and the Corsicans, which isn't good, because you kind of want to take those guys out, because they'd be really annoying. Another thing is you need to be afraid of the red team. I don't know why I zoomed out so much, but the red team, they're strong. You know, they could take all this Libyan stuff. They definitely want it back, seeing as you rebelled away from them. Yeah, got to be careful of that. Yeah, just keep that in the back of your mind. Now they're going to try and push for the capital of this orangish rebellion down here in the south, and that's kind of successful. They don't quite take it, but they get very, very close to taking it. So they take lots of land there. The green team, they're just struggling to take that, and the pinkish country isn't doing anything. That's what you thought. There's actually pink team supporters in this area, and they're going to be funding a new rebellion, which will look something like this. This is a big one. However, the pink team knows that, you know, their military is rubbish. There's barely anyone posted on these islands, so they were kind of just like a prestige thing. Just own them, because why not? So their military is terrible. However, they're managing to defend their islands because they're completely isolated, and the blue team's not really attacking them because they're not a threat. There's new sort of Roman rebellions occurred, and no, they're not the Vatican, they're just a random country. And this is going to really hurt the blue team, because they were not expecting more rebellions to pop up. This one isn't even funded by the Greeks, who the blue team doesn't like anymore. This is going to cause a huge collapse on the blue team's front line against the orange team, as they take back most of this territory. And it's then that the blue team will see red team troops on their border. Uh-oh. So the red team starts an invasion into the blue team. You know, they want just a little bit of this stuff. Very quickly, the red team will take these two cities right on the border of their country. One of them's literally in the desert, so a bit strange. However, yeah, not going well for the blue team. They're basically just going to get pushed out of Italy. This country is going to connect up with the orange team, who hasn't actually taken any territory of their own, but they'll probably get there eventually. The green team's taken a lot, and it's going to be left to the orange team to take the remainder of Italy, pushing down the boot, well, into the final bit. And Malta, well, they defend that, and also the blue team's going to agree to peace by this point. So let's have a look at a peace treaty with all these countries. And so here's the blue team's colony, kind of. The purplish country, pinkish guy, I don't know. They get their independence as a full-on proper nation. They're going to put their capital up here in Sardinia. These guys put their capital right here, and you're going to put yours there. You're of course going to put yours in your city. I realized what I just did. Oopsie. I never actually... Yeah, that was a bit silly. I forgot. I just turned it all white, and then I didn't know what they'd actually taken. Sorry. There we go. I didn't move cities too much. But let's see the division of this. So the green team's going to get a lot of the land that they already had taken. So they take this bit, and they're also going to take all this land. They were probably the strongest rebellion. I mean, they're the furthest away from the blue team, kind of. Like their main area. So that's part of it. The yellowish country will get all this land. You're going to get all this land. And that's it, really. So, blue team is left looking like this. As for Sicily, I'm really not sure what to do with this. I don't know. Do we give it to them? Nah, let's just leave it with the blue team, I think. Anyway, there's the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, lots more exciting things to happen. Lots more countries. Very large countries now, and possibly ones that are going to collapse very soon. Yeah, if you enjoyed, please subscribe. Have a nice day.